for everybody that thinks we are about to turn the corner and become the #1 country in the world, prosperous and unbelievably happy with health care and wealth care, jobs reunited, no more COVID virus, no more political dissension. This song is for you. Yeah.
The past is gone. It went by like dusk to dawn. Isn't that the way?
There was no cheating.
Everybody's got the dues in life to pay. Yeah, I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know everybody says you got to lose to know how it goes.
Well,
Half my life's in books, written pages. Live and learn from fools and from sages. You know it's true. All the things come back to you.
Yep.
Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the laugh and sing for the tear. Sing with me, just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
All the votes were counted, honestly. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the laugh and sing for the tear. Sing with me, just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
Well, dream on.
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream it up and dream come true. Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream until your dream come true. Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on, dream Sing with now, sing for the year, sing for the laugh and sing for the tear. Sing with now, just for today, maybe tomorrow, good Lord will take you away. Sing with now, sing for the year, sing for the laugh and
Sing for the field.
Sing with now, just for today, maybe tomorrow, the good Lord will take you away.
Way. That's right. Dream on, you mother. Oh my God, it's you got to shake your head. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sonny the Songfather Grosso podcast number. Who the hell knows? On this Monday, the 9th day of November already, believe it or not, and 70 today on the island of Long. Yesterday was 80 or 79, And today had to be damn well into the mid 70s. I mean, unbelievably 2 beautiful days. And was at a christening yesterday, and I had to go upstairs. I used to hang out at this place, way back in the day. A great happy hour they used to have. But they still haven't upgraded it. So his grandpas and grandmas and a few of my friends that had just had recent surgery, one on the hip and one on, I forgot where she had it now. I think it was on her left toe or somewhere on her foot, but whatever. And you got to walk up 2.5 flights of stairs to get to the party room. I mean, come on. That's the way it was years and years ago. You still haven't, upgraded that or put some way to, whatever. But it was a nice christening for Joseph Anthony Bedini, Joe Bedini III. Actually, 1, 2, 3, the 4th. Oh, I was wrong. That's right. It's the 4th. I'm in big trouble now. But anyway, so yeah, it was nice. And the food was pretty good. They had some peppercorn steak, though. I could say what I want about the food because, I'm not going to say the name of the place because I'm a nice guy. But I had to borrow one of the aunt's false teeth and put them in my mouth with my teeth just to chew it. So we ended up we were like Paulie in Goodfellas when he was slicing the onion, the garlic so thin. That's how I had to slice this steak into little tiny paper thin slices so at least you could chew it. But everything else was good. Don't get me wrong. And but it was nice. But because of the COVID, and I don't know about anybody else there, but I haven't been there in a zillion years. But there's a whole big outdoor area where you could have your party outside. But how do you predict that when you go and book this place? And it's going to be on November 8th, and you're saying, no, there's no way we're going to go outside. And look, so I got there early, as I usually do, and a little too early, though. So I went for a walk trying to find a place anywhere where I could buy a card, because I forgot. And so I'm walking up and down Deer Park Avenue. I'll tell you that much. That's it. Here on the island of Long, and there's a lot more restaurants now on Deer Park Avenue, especially south of Sunrise Highway, than I remember. But unbelievable. Because it was so beautiful out, and because of COVID, so many tables were outside on the sidewalk, and it was like walking down some of the places in New Orleans, down in Florida, vacation spots. Mexico reminded me, a lot of it reminded me of Mexico because there was a lot of Spanish restaurants, a lot of Mexican restaurants, Italian restaurants, and all that smell was just just drifting and waffling in the street. You're like, oh my God. And yes, it was a nice day. So I ended up, walking like 1.5 miles in my shoes. But these shoes are made for walking in. And so anyway, it was nice. And then we listened to This Morning, and I'm getting it out of the way because I know Chrissy loves my my rants, and a few of you do. Most of you do when it comes to these weather jerks. And so today, in a 30-second spot, okay, 30 seconds. Understand what I'm trying to say to you right now. 30 seconds. He said, dry weather conditions 6 times. That sunshine, not just it'll be sunny out, or that sunshine, don't forget, and look for that sunshine 5 times, and the word just plain sun 7 times. So 12, 18 times those 3 words or phrases were used in 30 seconds. Okay? More than half of the time that he was doing his little bloop bloop there. That's just unbelievable. It just gets me crazy. But I have to do it. I just have to keep ranting until one day I walk into a place and he'll be in there and he'll try to punch me in the face and I'll have to break his nose. I don't know. I only have 2 hands. It's a big nose. But anyway, so here we go. All the shit is really starting to fly now. And they're jumping all over the president. The president, yes. Oh, yes, that's what he is. because he went and played golf 2 out of the last 4 days. Yeah, and what's your point? He's not allowed to go play golf? I don't quite understand that, but okay. And then Governor Nipples here from New York. Now he's on, not doing his own little, little blurbs in his own press conferences or on local TV stations. Right? He's on Good Morning America this morning. So he's coast to coast, ladies and gentlemen, if not around the world, ripping the shit out of Donald Trump, saying about the news about the vaccine. All of a sudden, a vaccine from Pfizer is ready to go, and almost ready to go. Let me back that up. But they've had a success rate of over 90% worldwide. They've been trying it everywhere, and so it looks like they have a vaccine ready. A couple of more tweaks and everything else, but over 90% is like, very hopeful and everything else. And when he said it, when the president said it a little while back, that we'll have it by November, December, the latest, everybody jumped all over him, how unprofessional it was for him to say that and put a date like that on it, and for him to, and he gets into like a little words of a battle of words with Fauci. Fauci saying he should never have said that. It probably won't be until March or April of 2021. And all of a sudden, in the throes of what's going on right now, is Biden in, is Biden not in? Who knows? There's some stations calling him president-elect. Some are still calling him, which is the right way to address him, is projected winner. There's a lot of stuff that's going to go on before any of that happens. So what does this Nipples do? He gets on Good Morning America and starts bashing Donald Trump. See, this was bad news for Nipples because of everything that he said. Because had this kind of announcement come out from Pfizer, which, this absolutely jumped. When you jump a car with a dead battery, this jumped the stock market. It went up something like 1,300 points. It's like unbelievable because it's good news. Although the president, the projected president, had a conference and told everybody, now let's all give each other a chance and let's all band together. And that's a subject I'll address in a little while. But. Let's get our priority right now is to kill this COVID thing, and so we can get back to being with our families, and we can get back to going to weddings and celebrating the holidays and having barbecues in the backyard. And you know what? Not that that's not important, and not that that doesn't need to be said when it's time, which it isn't. But as a president, the first thing you should be coming out of your mouth, as he did every time he opened his mouth, is about business and getting business back and bringing up the commerce and jump-starting that. That's what you need to get rid of the COVID for. That was the urgency that this administration wanted. Everything else he really believed. He knew. He had information knowing that this vaccine was coming down the road, and it was coming down pretty quick. So he's telling everybody back then, back up, slow down, get out there. COVID, that's all everybody's talking about. He wasn't making fun of it. He wasn't saying it wasn't real. He was saying, that's not number one on the list anymore. All right, and how do you do that? And things are popping up, and numbers are jumping all over the place. And I don't know if the numbers are actually jumping all over the place with new cases, or the reporting now is jumping back up again. Now let's see what happens with the numbers now that this has come out, and see how it dies down. Once again, it'll die down. And if that doesn't wake people up across this country, so many people are cheering. And that's what America's about. So I have no problem with that. Whoever you're going for, whoever you're behind and everything else, if, it's like, your team. You like the American League? Oh, he likes the National League. The National League should win the World Series. Well, the American League, whatever. So it's the same thing here. But whoever you're going for, don't cheer it's apparent, at least right now, that Donald Trump will be out of the White House by the 20th of January. Okay, or 21st, whatever the date is. Don't cheer for that because this is what people said, because his hair, his orange skin, because of his lifestyle, because of his arrogance and this, and because of his Twitter. That's all personality bullshit. That has nothing to do with who's going to run a country. Because if he was that much of an egghead as many people are trying to make him out to be, then how do we have no problems with Korea? How do we have peace talks going on between three of the most volatile, going back to before Christ, countries that want to kill each other for how many thousands of years, and he's got them going agreeing to sit at a table and sign treaties with each other and get everybody back, get business across the world back up like it used to be. The worst thing that happened for this country was Japan coming here and bombing Pearl Harbor, because they ruined it for the entire world, because it woke us up from a sleep, from a dream that we were in, as Americans, as the best protected country in the world, the most strongest country in the world, and the best army, and blah, 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 blah. And they snuck in and boom. They could have done a lot more damage than that. Why they picked Pearl Harbor, I don't know. But thank God that's all they did, because if they would have went inland, maybe they think they would have got picked up quicker, but they could have done a lot of damage. But that caused us to go out and really speed up making the atomic bomb and then going over there. And the devastation and the lives that took, how many innocent lives too, were taken by that atom bomb, where the people that were involved in making and creating it, I think it was more than half, 50% killed themselves, because when they saw the devastation that it did, ripped the skin, melted skin right off people miles away and everything else. Now other countries said, holy shit. Do you see that bomb America's got? Oh, we better build one real. And next thing you know, this one's got it, that one's got it. And now the dangerous chess game that's been going on for so many years, it just hasn't stopped, and it probably never will stop. You think you're going to sit down and come to some kind of an arms agreement. That's not going to happen. But you want to slow down nuclear development, this and that, and get it on paper. It's historic what this man has done, and you're lucky if it ever made it to the front page of any papers. Any 3 Nobel Peace Prize nominations, I don't see it anywhere. Can't find it anywhere. It's an example of hatred. It's an example of what he has done as far as ripping off the masks that have been staring us in the face for all these years, that we kind of knew, and thanks to the stupidity, of Bill Clinton and the arrogance and the stupidity of his wife and everything else, they helped too with taking their own masks off. But Donald Trump took the masks off all of them, pulled their pants off and turned them upside down, and instead of $100 and 3 quarters and 2 nickels and everything falling on the floor, millions of dollars were falling out of all their pockets. Well, of course they want them out. They don't want 4 more years of that. You get used to that kind of money. You get used to that under the table bullshit. You get used to when you are in power. And that word is being thrown around so much now. Instead of saying the presidential transition, they're calling it the transition of power. Wow. They spent 4 years telling them, hey, yes, you are the president, but you don't have power. You don't have the power to do this. You don't have the power to do that. Power. And now it's the transition of power from Donald Trump over to Joe Biden. Really? Wow. And I'm not saying that Joe Biden is a bad person. I don't know him, and he hasn't been in the limelight in a long time. I remember him way back when, and he was not a very nice person up there on Capitol Hill. He was extremely vocally prejudiced toward non-whites. Did that change all of a sudden? I don't know. And then everything with his son that was starting to bubble up DOJ and FBI and CIA and everybody else is getting involved, and we get this laptop and that laptop, and he married, I don't know, whatever, he fooled around, impregnated his ex, right? What? Oh my God, drugs, pictures of him sleeping with crack pipes. I mean, just all over the place. And then all the stuff with the Ukraine, and then Joe Biden. How many is on tape, is on film, talking about how great China was, and he comes in, Donald Trump, and boom, that's it. We're doubling the tariffs up on you. You think you're going to take over? You're going to hold us hostage, especially when we're going through the COVID thing. You release this war, is this bioterrorism thing out of your country, and you don't even come out with any kind of a formal apology to the world, with any kind of plans like to put an end to it, and then it dies down, then it jumps up again, and it ain't the first time. People forget about that too, because it wasn't like this one. They released the COVID virus, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it is, out of China too, out of the same place. So he's wrong in what he said. He's wrong in the anger and resentment that he had towards China. He's wrong in putting sanctions on them to the point where they were buying rice from us. China was buying rice from us. I mean, but nothing. He's an idiot for doing that. It's just been a terrible 4 years, and then now we're heading towards a pretty, definitely nasty. I hope it's a safe civil war, a non-violent civil war. But you look at what's happened over the past couple of years with the violence in the streets and everything else, and they're blaming Trump on that, and they were using that as their, let's get rid of Donald Trump and his regime and bring everybody back together again and stop all this hatred and help each other out. Like we weren't doing that before, as a country, I'm saying. Now all of a sudden, that's an important thing to do. Where you didn't do anything for the whole 4 years he was there. There was no helping him out. There was no working with him. There was no banding together across the country. Okay? The vice president, projected vice president, was getting up there and telling them, get out there and fight and don't stop and excuse me, and and fight the police and fight this and fight that and blah, 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 and America sucks. And then the other ones, I forgot the name, from Minnesota and this and that, and AOC here in New York, and now AOC here in New York has, it's almost bizarre that she got reelected. All three of them, but how did she get reelected? I don't know. What did she do for her constituents in New York? I have no idea. Now she is on TV, in writing, on the radio, saying she wants a list. She wants them to release a list of all the New Yorkers that voted for Trump, which is against the law anyway. Anybody that donated to his campaign, which is a matter of public record. So she wants to get that and everything else, and she wants to call it an enemy list. And then what? Everything you said that Donald Trump was, which he wasn't, is what they are. Now you want to put an enemy list together? You want to go back to the McCarthy days? That's what you want to do? I don't know how many people donated to the communist this and that, blah, 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 blah. And start blacklisting people and following them and tapping their phones and intercepting their mail and everything. Are you out of your mind? Go back to making Mai Tais and shut up. Holy Christ. I don't care how well spoken she is, because she is. I don't care how cute. I think she's cute. I think she's hot until she smiles too much. And then all I can think of is Mr. Ed. But you know what I'm saying. And if she would learn what her role is in politics, I think she could be there a long time, because she is smart and she is a quick read and she learns very fast, and she has balls. So yes, but to come out and say that you want a list now of everybody that supported Donald Trump in New York, and you want to create an enemy list, so everybody on this new regime has this list, and we know who to look out for or who to go after. That is one of the scariest things I've heard in my 22 years on this planet. So stop laughing. So yeah, so we're definitely headed for a civil war. But for Joe Biden to get up and say, like before, we don't want a civil war. We want everybody to get along. Give you Rodney King speech there. But let's give each other a chance. Again, you're saying something to the people of the United States that we're wrong, and we're not wrong. We're not wrong in anything, no matter what side of the coin you're on, with anything that we're looking for to make our lives easier and better and leave a better world for our children and grandchildren and blah, 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 blah. You don't get up there and say that. My opinion. But I'm not the only one. And I'm not the only one. Little John Lennon popped in my head there. But you get up and say, give me a chance to show you what I can do. Oh, okay. That's a leader. You understand? That's a guy saying, there was so much rhetoric going around and so much smoke screens and everything else from both sides. Give me a chance. It doesn't matter if after everything's all said and done and he gets in, you got your chance. You got your 4 years, if you last that long. And I don't mean that violently. I'm just talking about with some of the health problems that he has. You really don't know. And, and his age and everything else. But, he's fit. He seems to be fit. And it makes me wonder. I think it was to my sister the other day. I said it to somebody. The way he is now and the way he speaks, I'm talking about Joe Biden, and the way he grabs that mic and stands there, no stuttering, no crazy words coming out of his mouth, no, I'm Joe Biden's husband, and I'm Kamala Harris's running mate, and other wild, crazy things like kids like to rub my legs and feel the hair on my legs, and there's people that are less fortunate, and then this and that, and so many stupid, ridiculous things that he said, and some things incoherently. And now he's up there, and he's unbelievable, speaking well. He's got his influxes where they should be, and he's coming from strength, which I understand that. But it makes me wonder, like, was he pulling a Vinny the Chin on the world? Joe Biden's losing his mind and everything else. Maybe let's vote for him. Let's vote for him. I feel bad for the guy. He's been around a long time. Don't you feel bad for him? I just can't understand that. And then, for the voting numbers the way they are now, for so many states that should have been called in favor of the Republican Party, Donald Trump, and they didn't yet. And he kept saying, what are you waiting for? 99.9% of the votes are in, but we're not ready to call it yet. And then all of a sudden it switches and it goes, 360 you return around, and it jumps 10,000, 15,000, 500,000, 1 million. How stupid do you think we are out here? They had it waiting in case they needed it, and I really think they thought we're all stupid and blind, and that it's not going to be contested. It's not going to be able to be proven. They're standing up there like when you do go arrest the Vinny the Chin, and those people out there over the years. You ain't got nothing. Prove it. You ain't got nothing. You don't have any proof. You're not saying you're wrong. Prove it. That's what they're saying. Prove it. Prove it. I don't know where you getting this from. It's all in your head. You can't prove it. And, they think they're that insulated. And I'm not even saying that he came from the top or was orchestrated from the top down. Could people in different states and different precincts across this country have done it on their own? Of course they could have. Without anybody higher up all the way through the ranks knowing about it? Yeah. But that isn't the point. The point isn't whether Joe Biden or Harris or any of their chief of staffs and all that stuff, and that we're helping them run for president and all that, all that, and the senators and congressmen and women, throughout throughout this whole thing didn't know about it. That doesn't matter whether you knew about it. The fact is that it was being done. So, you know what? Count the states over it again, like I said last week. Is it too incumbent on everybody? You know, is it too cumbersome? Is it too much of a pain in the ass? Like, just scratch the whole thing. And then, like I said, wait a year. Next November, we'll redo this election the right way. Or in 6 months, or whatever, you know, so we can get everything up and running the right way. And then, you know how they pushed and pushed for the write-in votes. How they pushed and pushed for him to say, no matter what the results are, I will not contest. And they were asking him to say that when he felt confident. They were asking him, the media was pushing him, and the Democrats were pushing him to say it while he was confident and figured it was, a pretty good shot of coming back for another 4 years. So he would say that. But he's not that stupid, and so he wouldn't say that. All he would say is, if the counts are honest and fair, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. So now, if all those people didn't know that this shit was going on, that's fine. And if we want to believe them, that's fine. But it was done. So throw those states out. Just redo it again. Not recount it. Those 5, 6 states, whatever, that are highly in question, and people are popping up all over the place, on video, in tape, whistleblowers left and right, and everything else. Do those states over again. You only have to worry about those states bringing the National Guard, bring whoever you have to do to watch these places and watch the voting. And all those votes in those states, every friggin' one of them has to be done at a polling booth somewhere, okay, in person. There's enough people out there now to go in there and independently and supervise it and make sure that everything gets counted exactly the right way and put it to bed once and for all. Why not? Well, I guess they don't want to. I don't want nobody looking. You ain't looking at my books. And world leaders don't know what to do. They're jumping all over Putin because he hasn't congratulated anybody yet. And he goes, well, it's not over. When it's all said and done, whoever wins, I'll congratulate him. Oh, no, I say he won't do it because he's Donald Trump's best friend. No, he's a leader. A leader does that. A leader doesn't jump. So you want to go congratulate Joe Biden, and then if things get overturned, then you got to take it back and say, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. Let me congratulate Donald Trump. You look like an idiot. You make America look like an idiot by doing that. He goes, I'll wait and see. And then whoever it is, I will congratulate whoever the winner is the way I always have. 100% right. You know, those people that we're going to have stepping up to the peace table. Not as saying if there's no Donald Trump in the president's office, then there's no treaty. And then you'll see, I don't know, maybe within a month's time, the bombs are going to start going off in Israel and Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, all that stuff. And all this shit is going to come all bubbling up to the top again. You know, but what are you going to do? And I don't know why they're doing this on the 20th of January in 2021, but they're organizing it. If you haven't seen it yet, get ready because it's going to smash and splash all over social media. They want to do a 20 million citizen march on Washington, D.C. on the 20th of January. Now, the quote-unquote, if you want to call it, the fight is going on now. So if you were trying to get attention, now would be the time to do it, not inauguration time. It'll all be done and decided by then. So I don't know who's organizing it, and I don't know what the thought process is behind it. But if you're going to do it the right way. Come on, learn from the past. Well, what are you going to do? So I had a Christmas Corona concert Saturday night on Facebook, and it went pretty good. I don't know, it's got like 3,000 views, which I was a little disappointed in, but there was a lot of people at the time watching it, and they really, I got so many thank yous during the concert, and then of course afterwards, inboxing on my wall, this and whatever. Yes, I still call it a wall. I was told it's not called a wall, it's called a page. Why? That's politically incorrect because of Trump. I mean, oh, man. But anyway, thank you for just giving us a little brief vacation of what is coming down the road. And to just get our minds off everything else that is going on out there, all the unrest and the stress and blah, 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 blah. So that felt good to do. And of course, and then as we get closer to Christmas, then I'll do another one. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. For me, anyway. First of all, I love singing, which you know, and I love singing Christmas carols. And so I don't know. I think in that concert, I had to do over 30 songs, because most Christmas carols are like at the most 2.5 minutes long. And so it was easy to stick a whole bunch in. And, you know, I don't like to stop after 4 or 5 songs and just bullshit for 15 minutes and then come back and do it. I just keep going. So I like to energize a singer. But that was fun. So thanks to everybody that came by. And, of course, number one. Number two is thank you for all the kind words that you said. So, and so let's do another nice little theme song here for what's going on politically. What should we do here? We'll do this one next. Yeah, okay, yeah. The Doobies, would you help me out, please? Thank you. This is What a Fool Believes. You gotta laugh. You gotta have fun. Yep. Bow, 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 bow. Believe. Somehow she will return. She had a place in his life. He never made her think twice. As she rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know. What a fool believes. What a fool believes. He sees the wise man has the power to reason away. What if love can come and love can go? To be I can't know. Retire wise man. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not calling anybody a fool. I'm just saying, as they say in the doobies right there, it's what a fool believes. So don't be a fool. I told everybody from the beginning, do the due diligence. Investigate. Look it up. Use the computer for more than apps and games and stuff. And do your research and find out what's the plan. What's the long-term plan? What are they looking to do? I still have no clue. I have no idea what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris want to do, except, as they said about Trump, all he ever wanted to do was undo everything that Obama did. And now your plan is you just want to undo everything that Donald Trump did. So is that the kind of roller coaster we're going to be on now? The political roller coaster? Come on now. Roller coaster. Remember that song? So Mr. Alex Trebec finally succumbed to pancreatic cancer, and he fought hard. Came down to that flat line a couple of times over the past couple of years, and he just kept on coming back, and it's to be commended. And I didn't realize 37 years that he was doing Jeopardy. I remember Art Fleming doing it, and then Mr. Chuck Woolery, Mr. Game Show host. I did not like that man. I'm sorry. He always came across like he was more important than the entire game show. But 37 years as the host of Jeopardy. That's amazing. And I was arguing with people in a joking way, but they didn't get it. I said, well, he's not famous at the christening yesterday. He's not famous for Jeopardy. He was there a long time. I said, but, he's famous because, he's selling life insurance. I couldn't believe how many people had no idea what I was talking about. Colonial Penn. What? Colonial Penn, $9.99. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. But so, rest in peace, Alex Trebec, and thank you for the wisdom and for the fun and the smiles and for the fight and what you showed, that you just don't go when they tell you you're going to go. I'm not talking about upstairs. I'm talking about the doctors. And Lord knows I am certainly not an Alex Trebek, but I've been through my share of stuff. I was just talking with my sister before and about everything I went through with my colon and major screw-ups left and right here and there. And I had like 6 or 7 operations and, colostomy bags and this and that. And I was almost dead twice. And I mean, it's like horrible. And and then after that, then I had the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and now the prostate. But for me, it looks like I have turned the corner with these great doctors, with Dr. Najat, who's a great urologist. But it looks like, for whatever reason, it was so hard to get rid of the UTI and the bladder infections, and they thought it might have caused permanent damage inside Aretha Franklin there in my zing-zong, the urethra. But it looks like I've turned the corner. I've had two relatively pain-free days. So, I go back to see him on the 3rd. It was the 3rd of December, a day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. And hopefully we get full steam ahead from that point on. So thank you, everybody, for all the prayers and everything. I certainly appreciate it. I have had enough. I have been through my share. And no more. I don't want to do it anymore. And you can't make me. And then they said yesterday, across the United States, 100,000 new cases of COVID-19. Really? It's kind of hard to believe, but that many in one day. In one day, not like last week in one day, 100,000 new cases. So maybe they weren't reporting it anymore, or maybe people are starting to take advantage again because the Donald was stepping in there and saying, "Wait a minute, give me the list. I want to know what these people were in the hospital for, and this and that and da da da." Because everybody gets every patient, that has COVID and passes away, they still get a grant or an allowance, if you want to call it that, from the government for all the money spent, on care, medicine, doctors, nurses, stuff like that. And, I'd probably do it myself if I had the chance. I saw this guy, this one came in, end stage this or end stage that, or severe case of the flu, and then developed the COVID, and that kind of kicked it in. And because I'm starting to see more and more that people, and I was speaking to doctors, friends of mine that are doctors, and they're saying what they say about prostate. Most people die with prostate cancer, not from prostate cancer, and they said that most people are dying with the COVID-19, not from the COVID-19. Now, that doesn't mean that the COVID-19 isn't pushing that along and isn't making the end come quicker. Of course it is. It's a very serious, ugly, and still undetermined disease that's floating around out there. But it makes you wonder how many numbers are true COVID cases. Like, I was healthy, I was fine, now I got it, and, knock on wood. And they did everything they could, but I passed away. To me, that's a COVID-19 death. That's a COVID-19 cause-related death. Not with underlying conditions like, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune diseases and stuff like that. That if you was under treatment for that and then develop the COVID-19, it just, boom, kicks everything into high gear. And these doctors and nurses who are doing a wonderful job since March. They always do a wonderful job. And am I a little prejudiced from all the time or the years that I worked in a hospital? Yes. But they do a wonderful job to save lives. They take it personal. When it kicks into high gear like that, you're battling everything now. If it is the cancer, you're battling the cancer. Get the chemo and get this in. Put them on that. We got to give them some pain pills. Boom, intubate them. Put them out. Put them in a coma. It's easier to, it's a horrible thing that they've all gone through in the healthcare system throughout this country and the world. Terrible. And we really still haven't gotten any explanation of what this is. Now, Pfizer's coming out and saying they have a vaccine, which means they have to have some understanding of what this disease is all about and what it takes to grow and what it takes to kill it and, stop the mutation, and so it doesn't keep coming back stronger. And, so hopefully we have the answers on that too. I hope. And so I joined Parler. Everybody's been saying to join it, and it's very difficult right now to try to understand and get through it, because they had 7 million new subscribers in the last 4 days. So they're inundated, and their servers and computers or whatever the frig you want to call them are, just like, saying stop. Because here's the problem with Parler. It's been there for a while. It's kind of been like a nice kept secret. The owners of it, Matsy, I think his last name is, let it be a complete 100% free speech kind of a thing, as long as it's, not advocating violence and everything, okay, which is good. But you can say whatever you want, Trump's an asshole, Biden's a this, a that, whatever you want to say. But as the popularity then does grow, everybody's saying, well, the FCC's getting involved in it. The FCC has nothing to do with the internet. Nothing. This is Twitter. This is Facebook. This is Instagram, who is Facebook. They're the ones that are imposing their own laws and their own non-freedoms and their own militant brand of doing what they will allow and won't allow on their platforms. And, it's their company, so they're allowed to do it. And people don't understand. When you sign up, the agreement that you sign tells them they're allowed to do that. You understand that, But what they do is, it's like at the end of those medicine commercials you see on TV, and then they do the disclaimer. You have to record it and slow it down and to understand what the hell they're saying. It's the same thing with these sign-up agreements. It's like 2.5 or 3, 4 pages sometimes long on your computer before you get to the bottom. Then you click I accept. I guarantee you it's in a 90 percentile that nobody reads all that shit. They just keep scrolling till they hit accept. Okay, I accept. Or I understand, or whatever it might be. So the more popular this thing becomes, the more of the people like the AOCs of the world are going to be tuning in. And they've already, noticed a gigantic influx, the people that own Parler, of fake accounts going in, fake politicians, fake media people, fake actors in the entertainment industry and everything else. You cannot be, quote unquote, what they call certified until you take a picture of your driver's license with your and then a selfie and send that to them. And then they look at the license. They probably run it, who knows? And then the picture on the license, and then you look at the selfie that you send in, and okay, and then they run your email. And if those all three tied up, then you are certified to be on Parler as you are who you say you are, which isn't a bad idea. Look at all the hackers and all the bullshit out there on the other platforms. So, but the more popular this thing gets, and if, you think, oh, so what? 10 million people leave Facebook. Who cares? It's not like they're losing money. They are losing money. The reason that Facebook is able to stay in and stay on top of their business and make the money that they've been making is by the sponsors and by the advertisers and everything. So if you know that on any given day, 10 billion people across the world, or 10 million or 100 million, whatever the fucking number is, across the world are using Facebook, well, of course I want to advertise my business on it. And then if you want to get it pushed, then you could pay. You pay Facebook. It's really never expensive to have something, a product of yours, sent out. And they put algorithms in. If you pay $5, you reach anywhere from 0 to 10,000 people a day for as long as you want to do that. You want to pay a little bit more, I can give you from 20,000 to 100,000 a day. So that's where the money is coming from. So Parler, just like anything else, it's free to join up, but eventually it's going to get to that too, because nobody can keep a secret. So I'm going to try it and see what it says. I was surprised how many of my friends were already on it for like a year, 2 years already. I didn't even know it was around that long. But so anyway, coming to the end, I'm yapping my ass off here. The last thing was they were all saying, I wish everybody, Biden, Kamala Harris, everybody else, that maniac out in California, Pelosi, she's already gone out and said, I want everybody to stop going to Donald Trump websites, and she wants to try to make it illegal. She wants to have them taken down. People that are donating to his defense or investigative whatever, to do this. What do you call it? I guess, is it defense fund? I don't know, whatever they would call it. But, just back off. And they say, this is them saying it. Excuse me. You got to learn to accept the results. This is the results, and you just have to learn to accept it, and let's get on with our lives. And none of them accepted it for 4 years. None of them. Every step of the way, everything the man wanted to do, nothing was putting any money in his pocket. He worked for free. He worked tirelessly, and they never accepted it for 4 years on the Democratic side. Now they want the Republican side and, us and we the people to accept it. It just shows you. The whole thing's got to be revamped. It's like I said, and I'll keep saying it until they throw that last clump of dirt on my face. Do away with labeling. You're not a Republican. You're not a Democrat. You're just a person, a man or a woman that is running for the American people, to do what's right for the American people. Not fighting with all each other for power and for glory and for money and under-the-table deals and all that other bullshit. No. To do what's right for America and then the world. America first and then the world. Does that sound familiar to anybody? I don't know. If it doesn't, you haven't been listening. But we'll see what happens. and whatever it is, and if that's the way it goes, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to run this country for the next 4 years, I don't know. I don't see them being able to be as free as Donald Trump was, because they're political animals. Joe Biden's been in politics, 47 years, I think, something like that. Kamala Harris has been on the edge of politics and district attorney and prosecuting and this and that for many years too. So, it's I'm just my biggest fear is that we're going to just go back to bullshit where everything is going to be behind the four walls, and we just got to accept whatever they throw our way. So, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope that as much disdain as they had for him, I hope they have at least the decency and respect and knowledge to say, you know what, we did learn from this guy, though. We did. We learned a lot of things weren't being done the right way, and we're going to correct all of that, too, at the same time. Then it's a home run for everybody. So, but, all right, so let's go. Which one? Which song should I end up with? All right, we'll do this one, because right now this is exactly what the theme song looks like here. And so before we go out, let me just say, be safe, everybody. Don't get all crazy saying, well, here we go. Looks like we got the vaccine, and it looks like it's going to be here in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So, you know what? Take the masks off, get out there, start having parties. Cuommo went and took their what do you call it? The license that you can get to entertain. I forgot it now. You know that? I forgot what it's called. Cabaret license, away from a club out here on the island where they went and they had a wedding, 160 people. The social distancing, masks, and everything else was not enforced. 30-something people ended up coming down with the COVID virus from that party, and 170-something people had to be quarantined for 14 days because of it. So I commend them for that. It's not good. It's not good for that place. I don't know. He took the license away. I don't know what they got to do to get it back. But, there was a pretty big catering hall out on the east end of the island here, the island of Long. And so it's going to hurt them a lot financially. It's going to hurt them a lot. So, of course, somebody dropped a dime, and look what happened, though. Rightfully so. Somebody should have dropped a dime. 30 people out of 100 and I think it was 140 something guests, and then between all employees and everything else, it was closer to 170 had to quarantine themselves for 2 weeks. So that means the people that attended there, as invited to the wedding reception, couldn't go to work. So probably couldn't get paid for the 2 weeks that they were quarantined. You got to go in and get tested again. And if you want the immediate test where you get the immediate results, well, it's $75 that you got to pay out of your pocket. Insurance doesn't cover that. Insurance only covers that you get called the next day or that day or whatever. But if you want to go and then get tested, you go sit in a room. I think it's 15 minutes you get the results, but then you got to pay $75. The vaccine, now that they're talking about it's almost done, you have to get it twice. Who's paying for that? They haven't decided yet. Maybe it'll be one-on-one. Maybe we pay for the first one, and then the insurance company pays for the second one. But I don't know. We don't know how it works. We don't know how it's going to be distributed yet. But so all we don't want to do is be stuck in the middle. That's all. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling it's something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall from my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you, and I'm wondering what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep the smile from my face. Losing control, I'm all over the place. Clowns to the left of me, go to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Well, you started off with nothing. You're proud that you're a self-made man. Your friends, they come a-crawling, slap you on the back and say, please, please. I'm trying to make some sense of it all, but I can see it makes no sense at all. Is it cool to go to sleep on the floor? 'Cause I don't think I can take anymore. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. It started out with nothing. You started out with nothing. Well, you started out with nothing, proud that you're a self-made man. Your friends come a-crawling, slap you on the back and saying, please, please. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Oh, yeah. Have a good day, everybody. Ciao, ciao.